Yep. So I'm doing something on the side here. So what I'm going to do while I am waiting for at least one person to pop in, I'm going to be just say something while I finish up what I'm doing on this end. All right. So welcome to whoever comes in. And if no one comes in, I'm going to start in a couple of seconds, and you'll just catch this on the replay. So, okay. Yep, I'm still here looking. Okay, so I'm just gonna start, and whoever comes in, they'll catch the replay, as I said. All right, so today, Monday, I decide to come live so that I can show you what I'm working on today. The live is basically all about, it's just a chill live where we just sew and chat. We talk about whatever is on our mind today, which makes sense, because sometimes it's not all about work. Sometimes you just need to relay certain things that you want to, talk about, really. So what I have here is this overlocker. I want to show you what I'm doing with this. I'm going to be replacing the cutter on this overlocker. They have two cutters here on the side. I want to replace them. The thing is, I wanted to do them a while back, but I decide to keep them until I'm ready to do a live so that I can show you guys what I'm doing. Because sometimes when you have certain equipments or tools or machinery or whatever, you want to actually see how to do something instead of someone just talking, just giving you directions with words. You want to see the actual, the actual thing, right? So when you come in, you can ask questions, you can say hi. You can say hi, you can ask questions. Share your project if you're working on something, or you can hang out and enjoy the vibe. That's about it, really. So this live is not going to be very long. I don't want it to be too long. It could be about maybe half an hour to 45 minutes, maybe an hour, not a long time. Right, so over here I have other things that I'm working on. Let me see. Over here I have other things I'm working on that I wanted to show you guys. But first, I am going to show you how to change the cutter. There are two cutters on this machine. I want to show you how to change the cutters. I've never done this myself, but it's pretty straightforward. And it's basically self-explanatory. I bought these cutters a while back, and as I said, I was waiting to do this online with you guys. So I have these here. When you're buying these cutters, always make sure that you have the serial number and the brand of the machine so you can choose correctly. There's no point that you go blindly and buy these, and then when you get them, they're not the right size or whatever, or it's a different shape or something. So I'm going to cut this open. I need my paper scissors. So you have to be very careful with these because they're quite sharp. And these are the two two cutters that I'm gonna be replacing. I hope you can see what I'm doing here. All right, so I'm going to open this door. I'm going to turn this slightly so you can see. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to loosen these screws right here. I'm really hoping that you can see. If you can see, you guys can actually say below, like put in the comment section. You can put in the comment section. Let me just see right here. Okay. Okay, so that's that. Okay. Okay. Oh, I did something wrong here. All right, so if you can see, please let me know if you can see what I'm doing here, because there's no point I'm doing it and you can't see. I'm going to be checking on my other device to make sure that everything is okay. Okay, so I see Jadwiga, hi, and Kimberly, hi. Okay, so there's 5 people here. I am so happy that there's someone. All right, so this is what we're gonna do. So can you see what I'm showing you here? If you can let me know, I would really appreciate that. All right, so let's get started. Let's get started. So no one is saying, okay, so let's get started. So right here are my 2 screws that's holding the 2 cutters, right? So what I'm going to do is release those so that I can remove them. I have to make sure that the needle, I'm going to make sure the needle is at its highest point. And I think I'm going to leave the foot right where it is right here, and then unscrew the cutters. So when you're doing this, just try and be careful as to how you take this out, because you don't want these cutters to go in between here to make it more difficult for you to retrieve. So I have my screw and the old cutter right here. These are quite dull. Make sure you put your screws away in a safe place so that you don't lose those. All right, and I'm gonna take out this other one. This one is quite hidden, so with that, I know this might be a bit difficult. All right, so this is my second one with the screw. All right, so I'll put those aside. And to put these in, this is this one right here. So you see how this goes up in the point here? That's exactly how you put this back in. So you gotta make sure, oh my goodness, this is so fiddly. Okay, so, what I'm gonna do here is just make sure I hold that in place. And this is quite fiddly, but at the same time, you still, oh, I almost dropped this. I'm trying not to drop the screw because if it goes in here, it would be a disaster. Oh my goodness, okay. So when you're doing this, just take your time and put this in correctly. Okay, so if you're happy with that, then you tighten the screw. Obviously, once I'm done, I'm gonna test it so that just to make sure everything is how it's supposed to be. Okay, so the next one is this kind of, it's like a duck neck kind of cutter. So this one, this goes at the top. Okay. All right. Those of you who are watching, you can, let's talk in the chat. Let's talk in the chat. How are you guys doing? How was your day today? Where are you watching me from? That's a good thing to find out, isn't it? So that's a good thing to find out. So hopefully these are in. I'm gonna run the machine now just to make sure that everything is fine. It looks like it's okay. All right, so I'm gonna get a piece of material. And then I'm gonna slowly run this so that, just to make sure that the cutters are incorrect. Okay, you can see how much sharper this is. It was so dull before, you know, but now it's quite sharp. Right, so I just need to set these back. I changed the thread earlier, so what happened, I loosened these so that they can come through quite easy. So I just need to tighten the tension a bit more so that the thread, so you can sew without the thread being so loose. All right, I'm happy with that. So that's one way. So that's one thing that we do that's really good. I'm glad that I had this here. I waited for to show you guys how to do that. I'm really glad. And as I said, I've never done this before, but it's just self-explanatory. It's quite easy to change. So I'm going to discard of these in a safe place when I'm done with the live here. Okay, so as I said, today is going to be just a chill day where I will be sewing and chatting a bit, but I want you guys to interact in the live as well. It will be nice. Just interact in the live, and that would be cool. What I'm making here is a bag. I did a video with a floppy hat. I'm not sure if it came out yet, and this is the top bit of the hat. So what I'm going to do is to turn it into a bag, and then the bottom of a bag, and create a bag from this. I already started. I actually lined the bottom here with interfacing so that can give it a bit more sturdiness. Right? And then I want to cut some more triangle pieces so that, let me see, I'll look on this here. Hi, Seema. Right, so what I'm going to do is cut some more triangle pieces just for the lining. And this is the top part of the hat that I did. I'm not doing a tutorial today, I'm just talking and sewing what I have here and working on what I have here. So this morning I got up, I did, you know what? I did my exercise this morning inside because it was raining today. Raining all day, and sometimes, you know, it's not possible to go outside to do your activities or whatever you want to do. So when you guys exercise, do you guys stretch first? Because that's what you're supposed to do, to stretch. Tell you what, I bought a treadmill and I was so excited to use a treadmill. I went on it and did my walk. I never stretched after, and I'm telling you, my calves were killing me. Never do that. I was too excited and never focused on what I should really do. It's not good at all. Do you guys do upcycling, or is there anyone looking at me that does upcycling or any sewing or design or whatever? Right now I'm cutting this freehand because sometimes you just know the shape that you want So you just cut it freehand and just call it a day. Are you guys interested in sewing, or you're just looking at what I do? No one is talking to me. Isn't that something? So I want you guys to see what I'm doing. So I bring it here so you can see. I see no one wants to talk. Maybe you just want to see a quiet live. Hello, Jazzy. Thank you for saying hi. Oh, so what I'm making here is, as I was saying in the beginning, this is the top of a hat. I repurpose a hat, a floppy hat, right? So I decide with this bottom, I wanted to keep it. And I figure one day I would find some use of it because I do a lot of upcycling. So what I decide to do is to turn it into a bottom of a bag. And then what I'm doing here is making a bag. So right now I'm making the lining for here. This orange piece is what has the interfacing, just to give it a little bit more body and also to give it durability so that, you know, things when it gets heavy or whatever you put in your bag, it would sustain the weight, if that makes sense. So that's what I'm doing here, all right? So I'm just gonna go across to the iron and I am going to press the seams open. Thank you for asking, Rita. Nice having you here. All right, so I'm gonna press the seams. This is not a tutorial, it's just like a chill video. That's a chill live, I should say. So that's all I'm doing, right? So I'm gonna just press the seams open and I'm gonna come back. I think it would be nice to turn it so that you guys can see me ironing on that end. So all I wanted to do today is just basically just have a little, as they say here, a chill wag. Just talk a little bit. If you guys feel free to talk, ask questions pertaining to what I'm doing. And that would be nice. So I already made the top piece, the top part of the hat. I've already made the top part of the bag. And this is the body. This material is so pretty. So these are complete. Hi, Dorothy. Liverpool, hi. I need to shape this across because it has such a peak. So I just need to go across just a teeny tiny bit. So when I put it here, it will lay down nice and smooth. You see, because this is a lot of material. When I'm sewing, I like to have more than less. You know, it's a good idea. When you have less, then you might have to cut it over again. When you have more, you can make your adjustments and still have enough material or whatever to do what you want. I'm just going to place some pins just to make sure that everything is okay. Okay, I'm gonna turn this again. So I want you guys to be in, with what I'm doing. Okay, so I'm just gonna press this to keep the seam down. So this is my famous lining. I absolutely love this lining. This bumblebees, because I love bees. So anything I make must have this as the lining. Let me turn the pins correctly, because it's always good to turn your pins across instead of this way, especially when you're doing something like this. Oh, it's a big one. So I'm pinning the lining in, so before I stitch, just making sure that it fits correctly around and it doesn't have any bulge. I'm just basically fitting it around the crown here. All right, I'm happy with that. Still is it's kind of loose here still, but sometimes you don't want your lining to be too what they call it, too fitted, because sometimes it put a strain. It depends anyway. It all depends. I like it loose. I like it to have a little bit of looseness. So I'm going to stitch this around, but I'm going to turn this back out like that. And then stitch around just to hold the lining in. Thank you guys for coming to see me today. It's always nice to have people that have some sort of interest in what you're doing, you know, so thank you. Okay, so that's the inside. I'm thinking to make, I'm going to be making a pocket just to hang in here like this. So this one I'm just making as I go. The design, the style, everything is as I go, which is a good thing, because then you become more, you know, like you do whatever you want and you become, I mean, you design. To me, when I do things like this, I design better. time I'm sewing something, especially if I'm doing it for my own business, I start off designing something one way or have it in my head one way, and then by the time I finish, it's another design. I think it's so funny. Well, that only go to show that, you know, that someone is creative, you know, your brain always thinking of something creative. All right, so this pocket is just different to inside, certain inside pockets. I make it like a paper bag type of bottom, like. Right. Yep, this is perfectly fine. I'm gonna overlock the inside so, you know, it doesn't have these raw edges, at least not up at the top. So I'm just gonna do that so it looks a bit neat. So this live wasn't supposed to be too long, you know, but as I saw, I'm not really watching the time, so it ended up, I think it's almost an hour or something, maybe by now. Okay, so let's just do this. All right, so this is how I did this pocket. It's just gonna be like a hand pocket. I don't know if that's the right word or whatever, but probably a word I made up, but that's okay. Why I call it hand pocket is because it's gonna be hanging inside the bag like that. That's all. So I need this to be centered. So that's inside, right? See, that's cool. So what I'm doing here is just basting this end, basting the bottom end, so it'll be easier to stitch around. I need to do something before I stitch this around, but I'm gonna finish this, what I'm doing here, and then do that. Okay. Oh, that was a lot. So I need to put on my bias binding. just put that here, just to make sure that, just to help the seam like to look neater. I didn't want to just overlock it. And I think this is okay. Okay, so let me take out my bias threads. This part of the sewing here, this what I'm doing here is the boring bit, taking out the bias thread, and I have to take them out now before I end up forgetting. I'm almost there. Okay, so nobody else saying hi, hello, or maybe the two people that's watching, they already say hi. They don't feel like talking, but that's fine. You can just watch what I do, watch what I'm doing, and that's it. But as I said, this is not a tutorial, it's just showing you, just watching me while I work, basically. It's just basically a chill life, not a tutorial where I show you step by step how to do this. This is one of my latest designs, so I don't want to show you guys step by step how to do this, right? You can watch me, I don't really mind. And I thank you guys for coming in. And for those of you who were talking in the chat and say hi, thank you again. Okay, this is going to be quite thick, but it has to be done. Hopefully the needle can withstand the thickness. It's supposed to be a heavy duty needle, so I hope everything will be fine. I think what I'm going to do, just to make things easier, is to open one half of the bias binding and just stitch it on first, you know. And then I'll just fold over the other edge. I think that would be better. Would be easy actually. This can be quite okay. Okay, struggle just now. See, this is quite thick because it has that foam, that fusible foam is a stabilizer in order to keep the shape. So I don't know if the two people here, if you were here when I was explaining where this comes from. I redesigned or repurposed a floppy hat, and this is the top part of the hat, so I decided to make it into a bag, to use it to make a bag. And this is a bucket bag. It looks really cute, and this is a print I bought at the Knit and Stitch show a couple of weeks ago, maybe last week I think, and I decided to use that. So this is quite cute. Okay, so what I need to do is, let me turn this back out. So I'm just gonna run my piping along this seam here. Okay, so I think I'm 1 hour. I think I'm 1 hour in. I really don't want to be too long on this live. So So I'm going to bring the live to a close and thank you guys for coming in today to spend an hour with me. What I'm going to do is, once I'm finished with this bag, I probably will do a short live, very short, and show you the finished result, right? Probably put it in a shorts or something, I do. All right, so I'm gonna come to an end here. I see it's what time is it now? 7 after 7 actually, and past my dinner time, way past my dinner time. My goodness. Okay, so I'm gonna come to an end here, and thank you guys for coming in again to see me. And I'll see you next time. All right, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't done so already, and like the videos. Also, you can share and maybe come back for a replay if it is some interest to you. All right, so thank you guys and take care. Bye.